Hello everyone, welcome to the round 10 lockout Q&A. I thought first most important thing is, apart from welcoming everyone, thank you James, Peter, Jaden, Cassidy, good to see you all. How's that weather in Brisbane? Who in the stream can tell me how the weather is up in Brizzy? I'm hearing rain, as always. Not as always, but I've heard a lot of things about rain this weekend. Is that going to affect your sit-start decisions, your trades? I don't know. In terms of my trades, look, I think I've decided. Too much deliberating. So you can actually see it below me, just so anyone who hops in can see my trades. So I'm taking out Papi, Tulangi, and probably Cody Walker, which sounds crazy. He's versing the Warriors, but I'm bringing in Papali'i, Garrick, and Munster. I like those three names. I'm bringing in Paycheck saying it's wet up in Brisbane. Absolutely shocking. It's pissing down is what I'm hearing. Not great. It probably means Garrick won't have a big game, to be honest. Playing on the wing. Look, I'll cop a low week this week, and we'll lock him in for the time being. And who knows? He could jag a couple of tries as well. Look, at least he's the goal kicker. That's my thinking as well. So I think I'm going to do those moves. I'll quickly talk through that as well. Okay, I don't think I need the radar. You guys have told me enough. But yeah, so taking out Cody Walker was the main kind of decision I was going through. I've decided to do it because Munster has just been killing me. I feel like there's a few guys you can anti-pod and avoid, but Munster's just like at another level. And the problem with Munster, you all probably would agree, as all rugby fans would, he is a big game player. So I feel like I look at a Penrith game and I'm like, that doesn't even concern me. If anything, that means I feel like he's going to do even like just as well. Cody does have the Warriors and he does have the good draw. But I just thought, like looking at that draw, it's good. Like, look, don't get me wrong, Warriors, Canberra, Tigers, and then again, Titans, Dragons. But I did some math and I was like, if Cody averages 60, 65 and Munster averages 80, 85 and Munster misses 2 games through State of Origin, he'll still equal or outscore Walker. When I did the math, I was like, I'm just gonna pull the pin. And yeah, I think let's spend a bit of time before we get to questions. I think a few questions will come in around reserve selections. I'm having the same dilemmas as well at the moment. So here's my team as it is. I've done all the 3 moves, knowing that I can reverse them during the round. So Dylan Brown is a lock for my reserves. That's no issue there. Suwali is a reserve for me as well. Main reason being that the Eels actually concede quite a few points to opposition right wingers. And I feel like the Roosters side, that's probably their better side at the moment as well. So I'm happy playing Suwali. Apparently Sunday's supposed to be a dry day as well. So that's what I'm happy to play Suwali. I won't play Kula. I'd rather have Tui Plottu, who's probably got a bit more base stats about him. But that even is a 50-50, but I prefer Tui Plottu from the eye test as well. So I've got 2 Manly wingers. So if Turbo wants to do a sweep plays, fine by me. I'll hit the wingers. I'll take those points. So my final 2 spots, apart from Dylan Brown and Suwali, Ewan Aiken's ruled out. So for anyone who's Aiken owner, I can't reserve him. So it comes down to either Randall, Max King, Tago, and Taff as my last 2 spots. I have it on Taff at the moment because I figured if I'm taking out Walker, at least I can have some of that piece of the Rabbitohs attack. But they're playing, tomorrow, first game? Yeah, 3 p.m. Just not sure if he has the base or like with the goal kicking, what he's going to get in terms of a score. The forward's probably going to be a bit safer. So I'm starting to lean a bit more towards playing Randall tonight. First game of the round, it'll be just a bit of a slugfest. Hopefully just makes like 50 tackles. So I think he's going to be a safe 40 or 50. So I think I'm leaning to playing Randall. I'll actually just switch it so that Randall's starting for my team, just so, because he plays before the Storm. The only problem is that he does have Phoenix Crossland on the bench. So I'm not sure what he's going to do for his minutes. He has been playing decent minutes, but that was without Crossland, or when Crossland was playing in the halves. The halves for the Knights today is Clune and what's his name? I can't even remember. But like even Randall, when he hasn't played 80 minutes, some games we play like 60, 65 minutes. He was still getting like 47, 50 points. I might just take that. I don't know. It's a bit boring. but playing it safe. Yeah, Max King is a shout. Average is like 45. I could play him over I could play him over Tago as well. So yeah, it's between, I think Randall I'll probably play. So yeah, it's between Tago and Taff and Max King now. I'll have a think about that during the stream. Let's get more to your questions apart from me just rambling. And if anyone asks me about my trades, they're just below me. So yeah, Pappy, Tulangi and Cody Walker out. Seems crazy for Cody Walker, but look, Munster, Popoli, and Garrick. I saw those three names and I thought, yeah, just get it done. Don't overthink it. Cool. All right, let's start getting to a few of your questions. What a doomsday way to open up the stream. Yep, the Brisbane Raider. And yeah, in terms of vice captain captaincy selection, VC Garrick tonight, and then I'll captain Hines. Look, Hines has scored a ton in the past in pouring conditions. I'm confident with that. Otherwise, I could change that later in the week to maybe I could even put on like a Munster. I'll figure that out. Maybe a safe one could be IPAP or Talakai. Those are some alternate options if I change my mind later in the week. All right, we'll start getting some questions. So a couple of super chats. So thank you so much, Rocco. Magic round time, yeah. Have fun, whoever's going up there. I'm still stuck in Sydney. Toby, appreciate your content always, mate. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate that a lot. All right, we'll start getting some of your questions as we are about 50-ish minutes from the first lockout. And yeah, I'll have a think about reserves during the stream. And so anyone who's asking reserve questions at the moment, yeah, don't expect me to have clear-cut answers. That's all I'll say. Mason, Max King or Bullimore as your last reserve. I would play Max King in that instance. I think Max King's got better base. I'd be pretty confident playing him, even off the bench. Isaac, hey, Turbo, Burbo, and Garrick, or Manu, Garrick, and Lolo, or Drinkwater, Garrick, and Wilton. Okay, so Garrick's in all of them, so we'll exclude him. So it's basically Turbo, Burbo versus Manu, Lolo versus Drinkwater, Wilton. I'd say Turbo, Burbo, to be honest. I think those are probably the best combination. I wouldn't be buying Manu this week, and Drinkwater still has some slight thing about him, just with his draw being a bit tougher as well. If you could get anyone for Pappenhausen, who could it be? Well, I could basically get anyone. For my own team, to be honest, the person I wanted to get the most was actually IPAP, and I could have got IPAP in just one trade of Pappenhausen out. But then I thought, if I'm going to skip Turbo this week, I'll hedge with Garrick. And I don't think Burbo's a trap. If anyone's going to ask why I don't have Burbo, it's mainly because last week I already went double cheapy downgrade with Tass and Tuipulotu. So I kind of freed up a lot of money. And when I have the opportunity to get in 3 guns this week, I felt I would just do that instead. And look, if I need to find money later in the season, I'll find other ways. It'll be cheap to crop up around State of Origin as well. Don't think Burbo's a trap. Just for my own team, I felt like he wasn't the right move for me necessarily. Hey mate, thoughts on Starling to Cotter? It feels a bit sideways Wellness Society, especially if you're looking at that as a round 13 play. Cotter could play Origin, so I would personally not do that move. I was toying with getting in Cotter, but I've started to think I'll wait until closer to that period of time, just so we know that we've got some confirmation that he will actually miss round 13, or he'll play it, and then maybe we can look to get him in there. You will cop some value and maybe some points, but if you're looking at him primarily for round 13 coverage, and especially with Starling, who is round 13 cover, I'd probably hold off on that. Would you play Tago or Burbo? Ooh, Burbo in the centres. His base won't be as high. He is versing the Bronx. He's versing Stags. I believe Burbo's lining up in left centre, who come up against Stags, pretty good defensively. Oh, I feel like in that instance, I'd maybe just go Targo, just because he's playing a better team. But I'm not... Targo and Taylor May on the left will run up against Coates and Seve, I think. So not the best defensively. So yeah, I'd probably just edge on Tago to play. James, thoughts on Walsh as a pod move? A few people did ask me about Reece Walsh, so I'll give my thoughts on that as well. I don't love it. I know he does cover round 13, and the draw's okay. Rabbitohs I don't think is a terrible matchup for scoring points. Then you've got the Dragons, and then the Knights, and then Manly. So it's a decent run. His high score this season though is 86. The other high score is 76. Apart from that, he's had no other scores above 60. And part of that is also due to the Warriors not being great themselves. He is goal kicking, which is nice. Just don't have a lot of confidence in them. He's not high base stats. I feel like if you're just looking for covering round 13, I would rather just use that money to go for a centre. I'd even prefer a Nick Meaney potentially, or maybe even Gutho. I don't mind Gutherson. I feel like he's a bit more reliable. He does pay a little bit extra, but in terms of a pod fullback move, I'd rather go Gutherson, to be honest. Thoughts on trading Pappy, Coates, and Lukey to Lomax, Campbell Graham, and Olukwatu. So you are losing Pappy, which is fine. Coates could be sold, but he doesn't have a high break even, and Lukey still coming off the bench, but he will cover round 13 and does have the tough matchups. Lomax doesn't really have a ceiling. Look, I've got Lomax in my team, and they do have a nice 3-game stretch. He's not in a must-buy. Campbell Graham still has a good draw. He could be around Origin, and Olukwatu, I don't mind it, but I feel like the plays you're getting in, like Lomax, they're not as exciting. With Pappy money, I feel like if you're selling Pappy, you want to try to go for an upside guy if you can. It's kind of why I've decided to go with like Garrick, who has got upside. Similar to, say, if you were looking to bring in like an IPAP upside, in the sense that he can punch out like 85, 90 a week with ease. And then Munster is what I've done as well. So I just think about when you're taking out the likes of a Pappy, I'm trying to think of keeping it to like like trying to also maintain some upside players as well, if that makes any sense. Matt, Cook to Grant is a 24-point discrepancy, but Cook isn't necessarily the biggest fire to put it in my team. Should I wait on Harry Grant? So I've had to do similar decision making this week. Cody Walker is definitely not the biggest fire in my team, but the gap between him and Munster was insane. Grant, I actually feel, is a different case. The gap between him and the other hookers is more than, say, Munster to other 5'8". I've pulled the trigger on that move. So, look, Cook will miss through Origin as well, similar to Grant. And I think Grant will make up the points. So I know it seems a bit sideways, but I think that's fine to pull the trigger on it, in all honesty. Okay. So, sorry, guys. I lose my place every now and then. So, Garrick or Meany in, who do you reckon? I still think Garrick, slightly better draw, and will cover round 13. The Storm do have a slightly tougher draw coming up. They will score more points. But yeah, I've even heard some talk that Wishart can go to fullback, or even Munster. So if you can avoid it, you probably can't, because Garrick, you have to get by this week. You'd have to get by tonight before Meany plays tomorrow. So I would still say Garrick's a bit safer, in my opinion. Do I think TBJ will be a season keeper? I wouldn't say no. I would say no at the moment, in the sense that he's still punching out like a 60. To me, a season keeper nowadays is like a 65 plus 70 average. He hasn't really quite hit that consistency yet, so I wouldn't say he's a season keeper at this stage. Thoughts on Pap and Tass to Turbo and Burbo. I'm not generally a fan of selling Tass already, because it could be one game that Jackson Paulo has a stinker or one injury, and then Tass is straight back in the team, and then he starts making money again. If you've got other centers that you can maybe dispose of, I don't mind it, to downgrade to Burbo. If he's like your main candidate, all the other centers are playing, making money, then I can get behind that a bit better. And I don't mind the combo of Turbo and Burbo as well. I'm personally not going Turbo, just because I think we kind of spoke about it in the stream earlier this week. Missing those potential games, the draw is slightly tougher. Like, Garrick has similar tough games, but he's also a lot cheaper. And if I went Turbo and IPAP this week, I couldn't afford Munster. And I feel like being able to get Garrick, who's an okay hedge, to Turbo, plus getting Munster, for me felt more of the better play. So that's why I'm steering clear of Turbo. It could bite me in the backside, and I'll cry myself to sleep. But that's my thought process with Turbo at the moment. But I don't think he's a bad buy. I still think he's obviously a fantastic purchase this week. Thoughts on Pappy and Walker to DCE and Turbo. Phil, can you just confirm which Walker that is? Like, is it Sam Walker, Cody Walker? Because it will just help me out thinking-wise. Because I know Sam Walker, like with the draw, even though he plays round 13, I would bin him. Cody's a bit different. Like, Cody to DCE does feel a bit more sideways. Whereas for me, I feel like I've gotten the best in the position in Munster, so it doesn't feel as sidewaysy. So yeah, if you just want to confirm that, I'll try clarify that. But yeah, getting a Turbo is fine. What is Papali'i's break even this week? So his break even is 106. So his break even is probably look, I've been saying he's peaked for ages, and he hasn't yet. So look, 106, he's running at Sam Walker. He could definitely score a try this week as well. He's a decent captain option as well. So even though he has a break even 106, I'm just like, whatever. I'll pay top dollar. I'll just swallow my pride. What's Garrick's BE? I think his break even is, it's 50. So his break even is 50. So he probably will just about meet that. It's Cody Walker. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do Cody Walker to DCE, just because DCE will miss games through Origin, whereas Cody won't. Like, for me, I can justify a bit better with Munster, where in his position, he's averaging like 20 points clear of the next best. Cherry Evans is good. I don't know if he'll get quite to that level. So I'm not sure if I would do that particular switch. Yeah, Tego or Taft, Tom. Out of those two, I think I would actually play, I'm thinking about it more, Tago's got a bit more base about him compared to Taff, although if you account for the fact that Taff is goal kicking, we kind of have to include that into his base stats, if you want to call it that as well. Oh, man, it's a really tough one. Maybe I should just have a think about it now. Like Tago's base is around the 30s. Taff's base is around 15. But if you expect the Rabbitohs to score at least, say, maybe 3-4 tries, and maybe he gets 3 or 4 goal kicks, say 3 goal kicks, that's another 12 points. So the base is actually still the same. So then I would say, okay, Taff and Tago actually have similar base, if you account for Taff's goal kicking. Therefore, if you look at just the matchup, Taff's is better. So that makes me think Taff to play over Tago. But then the problem is that the matchup's also tougher. Sorry, not the matchup, sorry. The weather might impact someone like Taff as well. So yeah, I don't know. I know my head is probably saying play more of the forwards this week, but look, I'm not up there in Brisbane, so I can't tell you how bad the rain is. If it's really, really bad, like pissing down, then it probably would make sense to play the forwards. It's a bit safer. But oh god, yeah. Part of me is thinking maybe just Taff, but I'm also thinking about it differently because I've just taken out Cody Walker. I kind of want to hedge my bets with the Rabbitohs. Amar, currently 61st. Oh, congrats. Great season. Taking the punt on Turbo. I know he doesn't play the bye, but you trust his pedigree. Look, maybe I should listen to you and take your thoughts because you are coming 61st. Yeah, look, I can't fault anyone going Turbo. For my own team, though, I felt like I could make better upgrades not going with him. Second. Sorry, guys, one sec. Thoughts on Ryan Madison? Look, he has looked good, but he's still coming off the bench, which I don't like. And I think he could even be like an origin consideration. So no, I don't mind Madison as a bit of a pod. I wonder how expensive he is. He's probably not too expensive, eh? But I feel like there's a bit more safer. He's 600k. You're paying 600k for someone coming off the bench. I don't really like that too much. Burbo went for a trade boost. Would have to be for Valea or Leo Thompson. Yeah, Leo Thompson, you can get rid of Leo Thompson, to be honest. And having 28 trade lefts is fine. I'm on 21, which is ridiculous. I need to save trades next week. Chapo, I'm going to have to mute you. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know how to put slow mode. I might have to look into this. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know how to set slow mode. I'll have a look at that. Stream settings is in here. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Activity. Anyway, sorry, I can't figure that out just now. I'll do I rate bringing in kick out for Tago? No, Stephen, that feels very sideways for me. I wouldn't be doing that. I don't mind bringing kick out, but the draw is tougher. But I wouldn't be sacrificing Tago, who's already a round 13 player. Olukwatu and Madison in over Garrick and Meany. Okay, Benny, you're going for the forwards. I don't mind Olukwatu. I think he's safe. Garrick's got the upside, but this talk of this crap weather in Brisbane could change your thoughts for this week. Meany is really potty. I'm not sure if Madison has looked really good, but it's just the fact that he's got those bench. He's coming off the bench. Although actually, I'm looking at his numbers. His base stats from the last few weeks coming off the bench is 56, 41, 58, 48. So he's still punching out like 50 off the bench. And we know he can get those attacking stats. But I feel like at 600k, if you're relying on getting those attacking stats to push him up to like the bigger scores, like if he's just punching out 50, at 600k, I'm not sure if I love that. So I'd probably go with the Meany and Garrick one, but I can understand the appeal to get Olukwatu. Okay. Ricky Roulette aside, surely Adam Elliott is one of the safest buys of the round. Yeah, he still has a negative break even from memory, so NRL SuperCoach Stats is at -22, so probably is this week to get him. Plays the last game of the week, so he'll have what we think is going to be the better weather. 428k, and he apparently will get the dual status. Apparently he'll get hooker status in the next set of updates. So I don't mind having that dual factor. So at that price range, yeah, it's probably the best option at that price if you're looking around that mark. Whether I'm not going to change my whole trade structure to get him, probably not. But if you're conveniently got some around that price range that you can fill in, I don't mind Elliott actually now. Seems like the minutes are getting a bit more secure. Garrick or Meany to replace Pappy? I've gone Garrick. Arnav. There's some bloody insect flying around my head. It's really putting me off. Is getting in Haas this round a dumb move? It's never a dumb move to get in Payne Haas, but I wouldn't be buying him this week when he's got a BE of 89 and he's got Origin coming up soon. We're not sure yet how he's going to recover from his injury, so I would just steer clear for this week. I feel like there's bigger priorities that you could go for. Pakes to Cotta or Valea to 562k to spend on a centre wing second row forward. It depends. Are you looking to play Valea and you need that upgrade? Otherwise, Pakes to Cotta seems quite good. Pakes is pretty rubbish. He won't even cover round 13, whereas Valea will. So I would do the Pakes to Cotta move, Rocco. Captaincy, James. I'm on Hines. Hines captain. I don't think I'm going to change that. Jacob, I heard Munster might go fullback this week. Yeah, look, I think Munster anywhere can do well. Coming out of fullback actually gives me better confidence. He might do more sweep plays and more base stats, more running. So makes me feel better about bringing him in as well. Bro, he hasn't even read my message. Sorry, Zach. There are lots of comments coming in. I'm trying my best, but there's 148 of you watching. It's hard to see everyone. Thoughts? Oh, I've seen your question. Thoughts on Murray, Ramsey to IPAP and Ramsey. Who's Ramsey? Is that Cody Ramsey? There's only Ramsey I can think of. If it's Cody Ramsey, is he even playing? But yeah, Cody can go out to IPAP and Ramsey. Yeah, I don't really know who this Ramsey person is, Zach. If you just want to clarify that. But look, getting in IPAP, love it. John T, should you bring in Olukwatu or Garrick? I slightly prefer Garrick for the fact that he's got a bit more upside with the goal kicking. And Olukwatu, he hasn't played yet with Turbo back. Not fully certain as to how well he'll go with Turbo back. Might only average maybe around the 50-55. Whereas Garrick, can hit those hundreds and usually benefits if Turbo does well. So I feel like Garrick's a slightly better hedge, unless you've already got Turbo in your team. That's a different story. But yeah, I prefer getting in Garrick this week. Is it fair to trade out Talakai? No. He'll get centre wing status next week. If you can put him in centre wing, I think he'll be a season keeper. They've got nice games coming up. I'm not considering taking out Talakai at all. James, just got COVID today, so a bit frustrated, but it's nice having a stream and Magic Round to watch. Thanks for the great content. Hope you what, mate. Really, really appreciate that. Hope it doesn't hit you too hard, and stay well, rest up and recover. And look, you've got plenty of nice games to look forward to this weekend, so it's not the worst time to be stuck in isolation, knowing that you've got 3 days of footy ahead of you. So yeah, get well soon, James. Thanks so much for that. TPJ or Olukwatu. Oh, I would just about lean TPJ for the fact that he's dual and he's cheaper, and the draw's okay as well. So yeah, a few people asked about TPJ or Olukwatu. I'd say TPJ just. What do you think about Holmes and Felt as pods? So yeah, I had a quick think about Felt because he's been killing it. The problem is that he's at 501k. His break-even's still negative, but after this week, Melbourne and Panthers, for a winger like Felt, who I don't think has got good base stats, I'm not sure if I'd be buying now. I feel like that boat is kind of shipped, and I think he could even play an Origin. Holmes has also been doing pretty well, but again, similar thing where at 588k with that draw, I feel like maybe you could stick clear. He will miss games through Origin as well. Like, I know Garrick has still got some tough games coming up, but at least he plays round 13 and covers Origin, so he feels a bit easier to stomach getting in at a premium price. Should we be only getting in players playing in round 13 and keepers? No, not necessarily. You can, look, this week I brought in 2 guys who won't play round 13. I brought in an Origin guy. I've got a mix. I've got a round 17 guy, a round 13 guy, and a Origin guy, but all 3, in my opinion, are keepers. So I feel okay bringing them in. You don't have to just focus on it. But yeah, obviously it's nice to get in round 13 guys, but don't change all your trades just to fill in numbers for that one particular week. Liam says, Brian Toto pod. Yeah, look, Toto is definitely a pod. I prefer Garrick. I mentioned this in my stream earlier this week. The thing with Toto is that he has Melbourne, and then the Roosters, and then the Cowboys, and then he'll miss round 13. Now, we know Toto's obviously very safe. He's based 51 last week, which is ridiculous. I feel like with the matchups plus Origin, it makes me lean towards going with Garrick, who should cover round 13 and be a bit better total point scoring wise through the Origin period. But don't get me wrong, Toto, I'll be looking to get Toto in maybe even like round 14, to be honest, because their draw opens up from round 14 as well. Hello, my friend. Would you go Drinkwater or Teddy to replace Pappenhausen? Oh, I would go Drinkwater, Mitchell. Teddy and the Roosters draw is really, really tough. I don't think Teddy will be bad for this week if you've got him. I think you can hold. Parramatta still would concede points. But after that, the draw is horrendous. They verse like the Panthers in Melbourne, and then he'll miss Origin, whereas Drinkwater covers the bye. More of a pod. So I'd go Drinkwater in that situation, Mitchell. Perhaps Ramsey and Randall. Who's this Ramsey I'm missing out? Is there a Ramsey that I'm not... Can you guys help me out with this Ramsey? Is it just Cody Ramsey? Anyway, we'll say it's Cody Ramsey. Perhaps Ramsey and Randall for Garrick, Berber, and Grant. Yeah, I would do that. You're getting in Grant and Garrick. Yeah, I like that. I know you're sacrificing Randall, who's fine, but Grant is Grant. So yeah, I like that move. Kalani. Tuolangi or Tago for last reserve. So West Tigers are playing... Who are they playing again? Cowboys. Oh, I would still go Tago, I reckon. Like, Tuolangi does play the bigger minutes, but just seems to just underwhelm at every turn. I think I'd go Tago. Plays with a better team as well. Planning on switching Pappy and Murray for Isaiah Papali'i and Taumalolo. Yep, I like that move. You're probably freeing up a lot of money with that as well, Zal. So, yeah, I like both of those guys you're bringing in. Both, obviously, Pappy and Murray need to be sold. I think they're good buys. Someone's asked about the TPJ Olukwatu, James. I'd still say TPJ, I think just. Aman, save your trades. Yeah, look, I've been burning trades. You know what? I'm 11k. I need to fix my teams. I need to fix my team, and then I'm trading hard, and I'm hoping, honestly, All right, you guys hold me to it. I can't use both trades next week. I have to save at least one trade next week. Okay, you have to tell me that. Unless obviously some injury messes me up. But yeah, I'm really hoping next week I can save trades, because I think the forwards are looking good now with IPAP and Haas and Grant. Second row forward is pretty solid. Got Cleary, Munster, Dylan Brown, got Hines. Center's looking solid, so I'm hoping I can start consolidating. Turbo or Munster? Oh, that's tough. I would actually... Munster's only 100k cheaper. He's not even that much cheaper anymore. Munster. He's looking so good. That's why I've bitten the bullet. I'm just like, whatever. Cody Walker, your draw's been decent, but he's still not done so well in some of those easier games. So Munster, just big game player. Just Munster for me. Last reserves. Okay, should we get into some reserve talk? It's at 5:30. We've got about half an hour to go. So Isaac's saying last reserves out of, quite a few guys. Taff, Kula, Burbo, Tago, Arrow, Max King, and Randall. I'll definitely play Arrow without Murray. So Arrow's, I think, one of them. Kula, I probably wouldn't play out of that bunch. Neither would I play Burbo. So it's either Randall, Tago, Max King, or Taff. And you have to choose one out of them. Like Randall and Max King are probably equivalent. Taff and Tago kind of equivalent as well, I think, based on the matchup. If you want to play safe, go with the forwards. Maybe stick it on Randall. Bank these points. Although if the rain is actually worse today, could just be a slow game through the middle, so Randall might benefit. And he's versing the Bulldogs, so who knows? He could just dart over for a try. Yeah, maybe Randall, just about. Do I have any boosts left? Yeah, I've got 2 more boosts still. So this is my 3rd boost from memory. So I've still got 2 more. I don't even know if I'll need to boost until round 13. So if I look at my round 13 numbers, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I've got 9 at the moment. So look, I'll probably take out Yo in round 13, maybe for like a Tamalolo or Olukwatu or a TPJ. That gets me 10, barring any injuries. I might just leave it at that. Just take 10, maybe 11. I might not, so I probably don't need to boost for the round 13 bye. Suwali over Tago. Yeah, I think the matchup's better for Suwali, and the Eels do concede points to their left side. So I have decided to play Suwali this week, and I've been on that all week. So hasn't rained at the stadium for the last 15 minutes. Awesome. Let's do a radar update. How's the radar looking? Oh, am I on the single images? Oh, I want the loop. Mate, that's awesome. So I know if you can see my mouse, around here is Suncorp. I looked at the map earlier. It's pretty clear for now. How fast is that cloud moving? Yeah, it's coming. It'll come in eventually. The evening game could be a washout. First game might be okay though. So yeah, Raider update. Drinky or Garrick? I would still say Garrick, just about. Slightly better draw. Last reserve, Max King or Randall? I've been suggesting Randall, although he does have bloody Crossland on the bench. Like Max King is 45. Randall might get you 50. I'd say Randall, just Randall. Okay, let's try to get some different type of questions. Walsh or Max King last reserve? I think if you've got Walsh, Chazza, I'd play him. He's got the goal kicking. He still has some upside. Yeah, I'd play him. How many trades do I have left? Tate, you have 21. Not good. Bro, that is not good. That's not where Sunkop is. Oh no, my geography's bad. Okay. Look, I'm not from Brisbane. Is it closer to here? Just where these little, sorry, I was a bit too far west. I was too far west, guys. I think right here where my mouse is. Right, correct me if I'm wrong now. I think this is better. Look, it doesn't matter. The rain's coming. We can see the rain's coming. So, it'll be wet. We know that much. Okay, enough of the radar. Pointing at Logan. Yeah, my bad. Look, I'm a Sydney sider. Give me a break. Just a thought. Save one boost for last round of the season. Yeah, probably. That's something I'll think about. Saving one of the boosts for the back end of the season. Is Talakai a sell or hold? Definitely a hold in my eyes. Turbo or Garrick? I've gone Garrick. If that extra 250 whatever K gives you too much, gives you enough money to do another big upgrade, I'd go Garrick for the Origin cover. So yeah, in a straight shootout, obviously I'd probably say Turbo, but what it let me do elsewhere in my team is why I wanted to go with Garrick. Yeah, I'm still getting it wrong by the look of it in terms of the radar, so I'm gonna forget that. I can't get a print point. This bloody insect is annoying me. It's flying around. I had the window open. Shouldn't have done that. Is playing Coates too risky? Yeah, I think if someone asked earlier, Coates or Suwali, I mean, I would be more confident playing Suwali because he has better base, but I would still try to play Coates if I can. If you've got someone from one of those top teams like Storm, although I guess we're doing the same thing with Tago in terms of not playing him, I think I'll just play Coates. You never know what he can do. Storm can always create overlaps and get tries on the wing. I would still play Coates if I can because, the thought of having 100 points on your bench, not playing him would hurt a lot. Would you boost for 10 to Ben Travojevic? Again, only if you really need the money to do some upgrades. Otherwise, I think don't have to do it. But I wouldn't even be looking like, should I use a boost to do X move? Just like if it's part of your trades, like if you're doing double downgrades to fund a big gun upgrade, then that's probably a good use of a boost. Starling or Randall to sell. If you're just selling one of them, I'd say Randall just because he doesn't cover round 13. But he's not even a must sell. His break even's pretty low. Kula or Suwali or some dodgy dudes got the top score in your group 2 weeks ago. Oh, mate. Awesome to see. Oh, yeah, Josh Cruz. That's right. Of course, I remember the name. I'm playing Suwali over Kula, if that helps. I mean, there's not a lot of thought into it. I feel like Suwali's base is a bit better. So yeah, I'm sticking with Suwali. The Eels do concede points to the left-hand side. Penasini or Randall last reserve? Ooh. Penasini's pretty solid. Yeah, that's a tough one. Man, these selection dilemmas this week are tough. This weather is causing havoc in our reserve selections. I know invariably we're just going to get it wrong. So, Penasini or Randall? Penasini is usually safe for like a 40. It's not that different. He has got some slight chance of upside. So, no, I think I will just play Randall. I think it's a bit safer with a Randall. Would you rather trade in Meany or Gutherson? Ooh, yeah, I like this question. Meany's got the negative break even. Gutherson doesn't. I prefer Gutherson as a nice... If you're picking up Gutherson this week, I feel like you kind of have him as like all the way to round 18. I don't actually mind the Parramatta draw. They have a couple of games against like the Rabbitohs and Roosters and Manly, but I don't really fear many of those teams. I feel like Eels can turn it on. We've seen that. Gutherson was good this time last season as well, just before the Origin period. Alright, 1 second, guys. Let me remove that and report. And I'm getting spam. Can you believe it? Okay, do we have a source for the Wishart to fullback rumours? No, I don't really. I've just heard rumblings on Twitter, so not the most reliable source in the world. I've also heard Munster to fullback, so I'm not really sure how much I would be thinking about. Jake, I'm at 20 trades and need to keep Murray and Fafita. I'm in trouble, but luckily I focus on head-to-head. Mate, thank you so much for that donation. And yeah, if you're a head-to-head player, you need trades even more for the back end of the season, mate. Hold those trades. Oh my goodness. 20 trades. Whew. Yeah. Hold them, mate. Hold them. Pappy to D Brown or Gutherson? I would actually prefer Dylan Brown over Gutherson. I think he's proven to be maybe the second best 5'8" this season. So yeah, I would go Dylan Brown over Gutherson. Tino out for Josh King. Now, Josh King has been great. I don't know if he's a buy now though at his price. So I would trade out Josh King, I would trade out Tino, but I wouldn't be doing it for Josh King. I'd find someone else. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Just got to do some. Chapo, I've hidden you from the channel because you're spamming too much. Sorry, mate. Thoughts on Pappy and Cody Walker to Garrick and Grant? You already have Cook. Yeah, Cody Walker to Grant feels awesome. Yeah, I've taken out Cody Walker. I like that. High. Pick 2, Swali, Coates, Cooler. Swali and Coates, I think. Should I trade out Manu or hold him? No, definitely hold Manu. I know the draw is tough, but he can also still do okay in the big games. He's one of those ones I'd say is don't buy, don't sell. So if you've got him, hold him, but I wouldn't be going out and buying him until maybe like round 13 where he should play fullback in that week against the Raiders, I believe. Alright, it's 5:38, so we've got about, how much time we've got? 20 minutes. I'm still not 100% on my reserve selections. Sawali and Brown are locks. I think I've committed to Randall. So it's either Taff, Tago, or Max King. Max King, I have to make this... To be fair, I haven't thought about Max King all week in terms of playing him. So I might leave it. So I might just leave the decision till tomorrow, whether I play Taff or Tago. Yeah. I might just do that. Max King probably won't punish me. He'll play like 40, 45 points. So yeah, I think I'm going to defer that decision till tomorrow. I'm probably not going to play cool. I've already got Garrick and Tweep a lot too. So yeah, I think I'll defer my last decision for reserves tomorrow. So I can get some time to see conditions as well. But yeah, Taff and Tago are probably going to be the last one I'll have to decide between. But yeah, I think I'll wait on that decision tomorrow. Couple of people saying Max King, but you can't even offload then. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what people are doing on Twitter. Having a quick look at my Twitter because I put a poll out. A few people actually saying that Taff could be out with flu. I haven't seen any confirmed rumors of that. So a few people on my Twitter, on my poll, out of Tago, Taff, Randall, and Cooler, the majority are saying Tago and Randall. So Randall probably will get a run out. For myself, Max King, what has he done recently? Is it just 45? I do like Max King. Watching him is fun. He's a good PPM workhorse. Yeah, Max King, he'll get you 50. Wet weather. It's wet as hell here in Brisbane. I can't see many high-scoring games, so I'm going forward for reserves. Okay. I might change to Max King then. Taff is confirmed to play past fitness today. Okay, that's cool. Taff or Randall last reserve? I would say Randall first person. Would you play Burbo or Swali? Swali. I feel I may have Manu as a season keeper by injury. Yeah, I probably agree with that. Yeah, Taff's all good. Okay, cool. So now I'm deciding Taff, Tago, and Max King. Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe Tago's not a play, just with his recent form and Melbourne. It's just tough. So I think it probably comes down to Taff or Max King. Taff has horrendous base. That's true. He has horrendous base. He could just get 15 points. He got 51 last week, goal kicking and a try assist, and his base. Max King gets it off the bench. Yeah, bye Taff. I'm playing Max King. But I'm going to swap him into start for this week for IPAP because of the whole reserve selection. So IPAP's going to be my reserves. How good does that look? Although I could actually put IPAP in on my... Actually, no, I won't do that because I might want to captain IPAP. So what I'll do, I'll swap him for Josh King. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. it leaves me the option of wanting to put the captaincy on IPAP later if I decide to. But yeah, Max King is playing. Oh, we're getting more spam. What's going on? I've already reported this person. Doesn't that get rid of their messages? Anyway. I need to figure out live chat and streams. Yeah, okay. You guys are saying take King. Alright, it's done. So I think I'm locked in my reserves. You guys have confirmed wet weather. Yeah, so we're playing the forwards. So yeah, Randall, Max King, Dylan Brown, and Suwali are kind of my reserves. And then yeah, I'm playing my forwards like Josh King is a safe play. Cool. All right, that's the reserve. I'm not looking at my reserves anymore. I think Starling worth putting the reserve on. I think so. You know, coming off the bench, probably will get maybe 45, 50 points. Tohu, Harrison, Aiken out. I don't want to buy Tohu straight away. Just the first game after an ACL. I'd like to see how he goes. Yeah, Aiken not playing is unfortunate. But that's okay. I've got enough cover with my reserves. If you think about it as Randall, Max King, Dylan Brown, and Suwali, I'm fine with that. I'm still keeping the vice on Garrick though, just for today. But I don't see myself looping unless he goes big because just with the way the weather is, by the sound of it, we're just not sure. And apparently the weather's supposed to ease up at the back end of the weekend. Kula or Tulangi or Ilias, if that's to play. Ooh, that's to play. So I'm going to base everything off base stats now. So Kula's base is about, he only had 20 last week, 28, 17. Cool. Tulangi is a bit higher than him. Yeah, I'd say just Tulangi in that instance. Josh King or Targo this week? If that's to play, Zach, yeah, Josh King. That's how I've gone. I think King will be the game you'd expect, if it's wet in the middle. Is Aiken 100% out? Yep, he's 100% out. He got cut in the 24-hour cuts just earlier today. So yeah, Aiken's out. He didn't pass his concussion protocols. Jamin Lamau, can you read my message, please? All right, here we go. I've got it. Trade one. Oh, okay, so give him some scenarios. So Paps to Garrick or AFB. Okay, so you can do Paps to Garrick or AFB to IPAP. I like that. Or you can do Tulangi to Olokwatu, but you won't be able to bring IPAP in the future. So basically, it's Olokwatu or IPAP. I mean, IPAP for me, look, AFB has not been doing anything special. I'd be happy just locking in IPAP. I feel like if Olokwatu scores around 65 and IPAP around averages 85, in the one game that he misses, for the other games he's going to outscore him, I reckon he's just about worth it. Now, he does have the high break even, so you could argue that you might not need to get him this week. But in a straight shootout, I would just say, Papali is the play for me, and AFB is not doing anything special. Why are you not going TAF versus the Warriors? Oh, it's just because, even last week, who did they play last week? They had a decent matchup last week. He got a try assist, line break assist, goal kicking, and base stats, and still only scored 50 points. Oh, the versus the Broncos, that's right. So, yeah, I don't know. It's the talk of the weather. I did have him originally as a bit of a hedge, but and Max King's safe. His top score is 66. If TAF's top score is 66 and I don't happen to play him and I lose out on 20 points on Max King, whatever. It's just the safety of Max King get 45, 50 and TAF maybe gets a 15 pointer. So I'm just kind of hedging it in that way. Yeah, but Warriors are something else. Look, that's fair enough. But how long can they be this bad for? And they're getting Tohu back, so who knows? They might improve. Tom Starling or Tom Gilbert to reserve? Okay, I haven't actually seen many people with Gilbert before. Gilbert starting. Probably will punch out about 45. I'd probably say Gilbert. It probably sounds a bit safer. Yeah, just over Starling because Starling is coming off the bench. Yeah, 100% reserve Cody Walker. If you've got Cody Walker, you definitely play him, regardless of weather. Burbo or Targo? I'd probably play Targo in that instance. Who am I captaining? Yep, so I'm captaining Hines, as I mentioned earlier this week. Been pretty firm on that. I don't see myself really changing at any point, unless the weather goes a bit worse. Cooler or Taff as your last reserve? In that case, I'd probably say Taff, because he does have the goal kicking. Cooler's got relatively low base, so yeah, I'd probably say Taff in that case. Hey mate, do I buy Cotter and Garrick or Munster and Ben Travojevic? Ooh. That's a tough one. Oh, man. Really depends on your team, eh? Cotter, might not play round 13. Ooh, that's so hard, Case. Oh my god, sorry. How's this person coming back? Oh my goodness. Bloody hell. Why does that keep happening? I need to contact YouTube. Get them to fix up the chat. Yeah, and I like the Munster. Getting a Munster's probably close to a must. Yeah, I'd probably just go with the Munster route. Just because you can lock in the 5'8" position for the rest of the season. Is Paps to Garrick and Tulangi to LOCKOUT a good option? Yeah, I like those moves. Yeah, I think let's talk about the Warriors being. I can't see them being that bad, and the thing with the Rabbitohs is they don't have Cam Murray. I feel like that will impact them as well. So that's part of my reasoning as to why I sold Cody this week. Colin, Aman, best of luck this week. Absolutely love all your hard work. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. Let's hope for a good week. I think this is the first week I'm kind of happy with how my team is looking. Probably because I finally got bloody IPAP and Munster in my team. So, IPAP and Garrick or Munster and Burbo, or I'd actually go the IPAP and Garrick one. I really like IPAP. He doesn't have the ceiling. To be fair, Munster is around a similar price, and he does have the lower break even. 59. Yeah, actually, in that case, I'd maybe just go. Oh, but I just recommended Cotter and Garrick to the other guy, didn't I? Man, that's a toughie. IPAP and Garrick is definitely a better combo than Munster and Burbo, so I'd probably actually say the IPAP and Garrick. That was my first thought as well. Randall or Max King sub? Oh, that's tough. I'm playing both this week. So yeah, I'd probably just favour Randall, at least starting, just for that reason. Jamin, I think I've answered that question already. Cooler or Taff as your last reserve? I'd probably go Taff. Am I the GOAT for real? Definitely not. I wouldn't be 11k if I was the GOAT. Pappenhausen out for Nick Meaney. Yeah, look, the Whisperer of the Dual Position podcast, he's going on Nick Meaney this week. He's having a good season, so a lot of his calls have gone well. So if that comes into your thinking in any way, yeah, look, Nick Meaney goal kicking for the Storm is going to be a good option. I like the pod play there. Thoughts on Reece Walsh as a major pod player? I'm not going to go through it again. We spoke about it earlier in the stream, but it's not for me with the Warriors not looking great. Even if they do bounce back a bit, I feel like he's only had 2 scores over 60 so far this season. So I don't really love that so much at fullback. Play Cobbo or Penasini? I definitely play Penasini. He's got safer base, Jeff. Cobbo's very low base. And talk of wet weather tonight. So yeah, I'd probably say Penasini in that instance. Thoughts on my trades: Tulangi to Haas, Coates to Garrick, Paps to Walsh. Okay, so if you're happy with the Walsh pod, I've just given my thoughts. I don't really love it that much. Haas is fine, although I don't think Haas is a must-buy this week with his relatively high break-even, Origin coming up, and we just don't know yet how he's going to recover with his injury. That's the only thing that gives me some pause on recommending Haas as a buy this week. Obviously, we know Haas is a gun. Yeah, otherwise, look, if you're happy, I personally wouldn't go for Walsh. Coates to Garrick, I don't mind that either. Get that round 13 cover. But yeah, Walsh I'm not in love with. I actually prefer a Gutherson or Meaney to Walsh. Who should I bring in for Pappenhausen? I mean, that's such a broad question. Look, Turbo, Garrick, IPAP via Jules. There's plenty of ways that you could go back. So apologies, I know it's a bit of a cop-out broad answer, but it really depends on your position that you're looking to target. Does Angus play game 1? I think Angus will play Origin, Robert. That's my gut feeling. Freddie's very loyal. So yeah, Crichton's done well for him in the past, so I think he will play. What do you think, Aman? Tulangi and Pappenhausen to Munster and Carrigan. Yeah, I like that. Carrigan is a nice solid option. Very safe. I don't mind that, Nathan, actually. Tui Pelotu or Cobbo? I'm playing Tui Pelotu. I don't have Cobbo, but I would play Tui Pelotu over Cobbo. Just has slightly better base. So if I have a quick look at his stats, 25, 35, 25. He has scored a few tries in the last few weeks, but he's also got decent tackle breaking ability, and he also is playing for what you consider as the better team. Cobbo's base around 23, 21, 18, so I feel like his floor is a bit lower. So I would say Tui Pelotu just for that reason, and just with the weather considerations that we're talking about. Is Turbo a good buy? Absolutely. But for my team, he wasn't, in my opinion, the best buy. So I've gone with Garrick instead. Hang on, I can do Pappy to Turbo or Grant, and then Murray to Garrick. Thoughts on which one? Okay, so basically it's one of getting Turbo or Grant, and then look, Murray to Garrick is fine. I like that. If you are going Murray to Garrick, I would go Pappy to Grant, because you're kind of already getting that manly piece of that action. If you don't go Turbo, Grant is another stratosphere and hooker. So yeah, I would do the Pappy to Grant and Murray to Garrick. That'd be my opinion. Fowler. To hold Pappy, would you trade him if he was out for 3 rounds? Yes, I would. If I knew he was out for 3 rounds, I'd trade him. Like 900k is just too much money on the bench. I know your name's Captain Hausen. You probably got a bit of Pappy bias there. But no, I would still sell Pappy even with 3 rounds. And he's confirmed basically 4 to 6 weeks. And I would guess he'd be more on the side of 6 weeks. So no, there's no question in my mind about selling Pappenhausen. Regan, what's the Lolo's break even? So, Lolo's break even. I think you had asked a few questions about break even. So it's break in 74. What I would recommend though, if you haven't gone to NRL SuperCoach Stats.com, they have all the player break evens approximately, not exactly what it is on the website, but it's very close. Highly recommend going there and you get all your break evens. It's really, really good. Final reserve, Lukey, Taff, or Cooler, or Lukey, Tom, just coming off the bench. Is a bit of a forward is probably a bit safer, I would say. Okay, how much time we got left? We got about 6 minutes. Okay, so yeah, start locking your teams, guys. I'm gonna refresh mine just so I've made sure I've got everything together. Let's do another Raider update because it was a bit of fun. You're roasting me for my lack of Brisbane geography knowledge. So okay, where did I go last time? I came up there. Whatever. It's somewhere here, okay? It's somewhere there. No rain yet, but it's coming. I would guess, based on the way that it's moving in terms of speed, give it an hour. I reckon in an hour the rain will start coming. That's my guess. Okay, a few more questions, guys. Alright, so we'll go back to my team. But yeah, so I think the team's pretty much locked in. Playing Max King this week. Playing Randall, going safe with the forwards, Josh King and Dillbags and Swali. So no Targo, no Cooler, no Taff. Garrick or Meany? I'm going Garrick. I prefer Garrick, a bit more solid. Is Cotter a hold if he plays Origin? Yeah, I still think so. Look, I wouldn't necessarily be looking at to sell Cotter. If he's playing Origin, it's probably for good reason, and that he's playing big minutes and looking really good. So yeah, I would still say Cotter is a play. We are in between the 2 islands. So here. Yes? Anyway, I've had enough of the Brisbane Raider. I'm not going to do any more questions to answer. Okay, and yeah, sorry. Obviously, apologies to everyone who I wasn't able to get to. There's a lot of questions coming in. Somewhere here, drags mouse across half of Queensland. I'm sorry. Wait, but this is oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Oh my god, I've just realized I can see the bloody Brisbane thing. Is that okay? Oh my god. Have I just missed Brisbane? Right there. I'm going to leave it for a bit. And you guys can confirm with me if my mouse is on the right spot. Yeah, the place that says Brisbane, that's probably where Suncorp Stadium would be. You'd think so, right? Cool. If anything, that just means the rain's coming even sooner. So I'd say, yeah, 45 minutes. Alright. Get Garrick and TPJ or Haas or Turbo and Angus Crichton. Ooh. Bingo. Yeah, you would assume so that I would eventually found the Brisbane. Sorry for infuriating everyone. Garrick and TPJ. I would prefer TPJ over Haas for the round 13 cover, Mitch. I'm still not a fan of Crichton. He's kind of been moved around a bit. Garrick TPJ or Turbo Crichton. Turbo Crichton does sound better, but I'm feeling Garrick TPJ in my opinion. Yeah, guys, I actually studied geography in high school. You'd think I'd know where bloody Brisbane is. Apparently not. And apparently I couldn't read that Brisbane is right there on the map. Nico at fullback or halfback? It doesn't really matter, to be honest. I've put him at fullback so it helps with my VC captaincy. But really it doesn't make that much of a difference. Although I guess if I put Hines in it, Then I could do a reserve. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. You're dead. Such a good stream. Yeah, my bad. Oh yeah, we gotta do some GeoGuessr. There's a YouTuber who's like an amazing GeoGuessr who's got like millions of subscribers apparently. Yeah, it's not me. Final reserve, Taff or Randall. Shades of Red. I've gone with Randall just for the safety, I think. Bring in Emma McKeown, Ian Thorpe, and Michael Phelps this week. Thoughts? Yeah, love it. Actually, I've met Ian Thorpe actually a couple of times. I used to work at the I used to work in an aquatic center. There's a bit of background on myself during my uni days. I used to work in an aquatic center, and yeah, Ian Thorpe was in every now and then. Not Phelps, unfortunately. So yeah, I used to be a decent swimmer, if I say so myself. Although I haven't gone that much recently, I probably should get back into it. Brisbane local and work on the boats. Minimal to no rain tonight. Rain contracting north. Weekend won't be as wet. This weekend won't be as wet. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, I'm getting so confused about this whole weather thing. Anyway, we're sticking with our decisions. Playing the forwards. It's the weekend of the pigs. All right, we're playing King, Randall. Yeah, we're sticking with that. Okay, we've got a minute and a half, so I'm not sure how many more questions I'll be able to get to in terms of trades. I'd rather just want you guys to make sure you get your trades in, and hopefully you've enjoyed the stream. I will be heading off shortly after, going to a friend's house, but yeah, I'll try to watch the games if I can. I might not be able to watch the Knights Bulldogs game, but we'll see. Hey man, Pappy and Cody Walker to Garrick and Grant, or Pappy and Tuolangi to Garrick and Burbo with 600k. I like the Garrick and Grant trades high. I prefer those ones, in my opinion. Okay, I think, yeah, we've got sub 1 minute. It's 5:59. We can enjoy a magic round. I think we'll stop the questions there. I've got heaps on my Twitter, actually. So hopefully they've all jumped on the stream. I'm just going to message them. Yep. Okay. What's my team value? It's not good. I think it's like 12.7 million. Yeah. Yeah, someone's asked about if I still want to do Nico captain if the ground is messed up. That's my thinking in terms of having IPAP. I think if the ground is messed up and it looks really forward heavy, I will play IPAP as a captain, to be honest. So yeah, we will. I don't have to make that decision tonight, which is good. I can have a look at the conditions and then see how we go. All right, that's lockout done and dusted, I want to say. It's 6 o'clock on the dot. Thanks everyone for joining. Yep, I think it's over. They're running on. All right, sweet. I need to actually get going, so I'll chuck it on my phone, plug it into the car, and listen over the radio. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully I got to your questions, and still, tweet at me if you still need to make final reserve decisions later. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. See you all later. Enjoy the footy and enjoy Magic Round. Catch you all.